Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. So you're going to be watching this, and currently when I'm starting this video, Chris is probably about 2 hours into his 5 or 6 hour journey down to Cornwall for the bank holiday weekend. So you're going to have to put up with me through this one. Got a call yesterday. The little Ford Fiesta is finally finished at the paint shop. So guys, I think this is going to be the last. I'm going to make sure this is the last video on this little car. So we had it sat around for quite a while. It was very cheap when we bought it. It was unrecorded. We got it from the pound, and we just collected bits here, collected bits there, and now the car should be, sorry guys, got contact lenses in my eye, was really running there. So we should be able to get this one finished in this video quite easily. So let's go to the yard, jump in the truck and actually go over there, get it picked up, and then go through the little list of bits that it's got to do on it, and of course go through the numbers. We've had to have a quick little pit stop. It's actually the first set we've ever had to put on the truck. 5 nice new tyres going on it, so 4 and the spare. The spare is actually like brand new, but due to the fact that it's been sat on the bed for the last 3 years and just had the weather constantly banging down on it, it's actually all perished and cracked. So yeah, 5 nice new tyres, then we can go and pick the little Fiesta up. Quite a productive morning so far. We got 5 nice new tyres on the truck. We've got to do something about this. I know you'll give me an hard time about it, but we do need to fit it up here somewhere, or maybe even get it underslung under there somewhere, because that weather absolutely ruined it. Hopefully they'll last quite a while. Lovely to see this car back and finally see it in one colour. You know, we had quite a lot of hassle with this one. Not hassle really, but we put it into our regular painter. He was able to do some parts and then actually give up on his workshop and moved out, and it's kind of been left in the background to wait for somebody else to do it. So finally back from the paint shop, and the bits that have just been done was that A-pillar there. Chris done the repair on it. I think actually that A-pillar was an afterthought that we didn't notice until at the end anyway. The side skirt, the other side's been done. I have just taken these straps off, just preparing myself, because what I'm actually going to do is fit the side skirt on the back of the truck, because ultimately we've still got that Range Rover in the workshop. We never had time before Chris went away to put those windows back in it. So I am kind of going to be working outside on this one a little bit, and the side skirt is quite easy. Some double-sided tape, some clips, and then you've got that nice cap on the end that holds it. But the paintwork is absolutely beautiful, what we've just had done on it. And of course got that side skirt in there, got a nice new set of number plates there for it. No one's ever actually seen the reg of this one, and I'm quite, yeah, this is unrecorded, this car, so it's a 66 2017, which reminds me actually, the lad that reached out to us about this car, if he could actually inbox me with his phone number, I've got some personal effects of his in the car that I need to return to him, but after 90 days the messages on Instagram time out and actually go, so I haven't got his details to actually drop them off to him. So I'm going to crack on and actually get this side skirt fitted. We've got it in now, and then we're going to get it off. And I did notice, it was last time we had it on the ramp, that tyre's actually ran the wrong way. It needs to go on the axle the other side and swap it around. So loads of little jobs to do, and of course we've never ever driven this car, so it'd be nice to get it out on the road. There's aircon to do, there's MOT to do, etc, etc. So let's crack straight on and get that side skirt fitted. Not as easy as you would think actually, getting all those clips on, but fortunately, I mean, we've got all the old ones in there that we took off it, but I also bought a packet of new ones, which really did pay off, because some of the other clips are just not good enough. So I've put all new ones in there, new bit of tape along this back edge here that holds it, and then a tiny little bit on the front here that holds it. And actually you can see a little tiny gap there, and then just put on this new end cap. I think I mentioned before, these were about between 30 and 40 pounds online, eBay, anywhere like that. From the dealer, £13.50 with all the taxes, VAT, etc. So that's the side skirt on. Let's actually get it off the back of the truck now. Yeah, I nearly forgot to mention there, guys, I've actually got it running just to charge the battery up because it has been sat around for quite a while. And I've also noticed that that grille is not actually clipped and located home, so I need to get that done as well. Right, loads of little jobs, but like I said, we're getting there with it, and we need this one done. Would you believe every single light has gone out? You can see I've put that petrol in it now, and the temperature's getting right up there. That's why in that bit of time lapse, sorry, I probably should have said, you would have seen quite a bit of steam coming out of the exhaust, because ultimately I had it running the whole time I was putting the side skirt on. But you can see there, bonnet open, just keeps flashing up on the screen. So obviously there is a sensor, or the clip down there is going to need doing, and of course stick those front and rear number plates on. And we've got the A-pillar trim there that's got to go all the way back down in the windscreen. So let's carry on with it. So far so good, and hopefully we can get this one over for an MOT today. That would be really, really nice. It's still reasonably early. I've pushed that grille back in and it's clipped in, but I am just going to double check it and make sure. I've got to open the bonnet anyway to get this bonnet latch sorted out. It's a question that comes up quite a lot, and I know I've mentioned it a couple of times in this video, the fact that this car is unrecorded. So the only person that would have got paid out on this car when it was involved in the accident would be the Borough Council for the railings that the young lad actually took out. Because he was third party on the car will not belong to the insurance company. They won't pay out on the car. So ultimately, the owner does still own this car. People do say, so how are you going to know? How is anybody going to know that this car was involved in an accident and it's been repaired? Basically, guys, you've got to rely on the person who's repaired that car and who is selling it to you to actually tell you the truth. All your checks and due diligence. And that's going to bring us on to the sponsor of today's video, Car Vertical. So if there actually was anything listed for this vehicle, it would show up in Car Vertical. So if it was reported stolen, if it had been claimed off by the insurance, if it had been involved in an accident, and quite often, even if they're for sale at a dealer or previously been for sale, it will give you that information. So you can clearly see on this one, mileage, theft, accidents, finance is all completely clear. I personally nearly got caught out years ago when purchasing a Fiat 500. I thankfully never actually bought it, but the young lady actually had it advertised. It was 3 years old, as category D insurance loss, and she was asking 50% of the retail value of that car. And when I got there and did do a bit of research, she had actually owned the car from new. And when I did actually check it, because a lot of people would take for granted it's not worth doing a check because she's already said it's category D. I actually checked that car, it wasn't category D, and it still had 2 years outstanding finance on that car, and the lady was clearly trying to scam me. So this check was performed in the United Kingdom, Romania, Czech Republic, Canada, just to name a few. Scrolling all the way down there, you've got your mileage graph, and that is absolutely bang on. Then when I scroll to the bottom, you've got all your specs and equipment there. So this is the one my friend recently rung me about, and he was going to buy it for his daughter, and he said, Rob, is there anything you can do to help me out by checking it? The chap said it's category S. So I did run a check on it, and it said accident, so I wasn't surprised. And then after I just quickly scrolled through the check, I could actually see that the vehicle had been written off and was actually category S on 2 different occasions. He rung the guy and asked if the price was negotiable, and the guy said absolutely not, and put the phone down on him, and that was the end of that one. So you can see there, on the 6th 2022, and that is the one that the chap actually declared. And then right down here, it was actually written off category S on the 3rd of the 4th 2019 as well. So if you are going out to buy a vehicle and you do want that peace of mind to get in depth as much as you can, do a Car Vertical, guys. Use the link in the description and get 10% off your check, or use the code SR10 from any browser. I do want to thank Car Vertical once again for the continued support on the Salvage Rebuilds channel. I've had the bonnet latch unplugged and plugged it back in. It's not making a blind bit of difference, but I was just about to head down to Kent Auto Salvage to get one. See it there, guys? And it's just got one little 10mm this side holding it on. So fingers crossed, this one has been out in the weather, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll get that one off and give it a try. Failing that, I reckon if it's not that, it's going to be a broken wire just by that latch there, because that's where that car had a smack, didn't it, in the front and in the side. So, well, pretty much everywhere. Let's get that one off, swap it over and see if it makes any difference. So just a little test, I unbolted that whole latch. It looks like you can't really, well, you can pop that out. So I am going to try and change just that part, but if it turns out I can't, I can't. So I've just latched it with one of our star drives in there. And you can see the light's gone out. The only light we've got on there is handbrake light. So basically, I will plug it in and just do a scan on it anyway, but I'm happy now that that has resolved it. I've put that little A-pillar trim on there, and that's all gone back together fine. So let's get that swapped over. So you all know, normally I'll do the running around. Like Chris would have said, Rob, whip up and get some double-sided number plate tape. We're actually out of it. Chris is not here, is he? So I'm on my own. I've just had to ring Claire. I was like, right, need you to go here, need you to go there, bless her. She's just stopped what she's doing and run and got us out. Bonnet catch, bonnet latch, all done, all fitted. I managed to just change that little bit. Do you know what, guys? I've thrown the old one in the skip now. But you can see, it actually had no gubbins in it. The accident, obviously, it all popped out. So to get it out, you've got one little clip here. You just bend it out of the way and it slides out. It's on these little, it's on these little slidey pins. You see it? So I swapped it over and it's done the job. Let's get them number plates fitted. And I think I'm gonna book it in for an MOT, and I'm gonna have a slow drive over to the MOT in it. I think that's gonna be the way to road test it, isn't it? It was driving all right when it crashed, and of course we've had that engine cover all fitted. It's all been serviced. This car should be good to go. Let's get the plates on it and have a slow drive over. 2017 this car, guys, with only 57,000 on it. I kind of knew it's got no warning lights. It actually drives really, really nice, but the steering wheel is off to the right, and you've got to expect that after the amount of work that we actually put into this car and changed. So for the second time today, I'm back at A2 tyres. The car's just come off the ramp and we're next on there. Let's get the tracking absolutely bang on it. While I was at MOT, I've also had the air conditioning regassed. That is ice cold, thankfully, because it's quite stuffy today. So we'll get the tracking done and then head back to the yard. Probably actually get it cleaned nicely. And we'll do the numbers on this one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy to see the end of this one. It has been sat around for quite a while, hasn't it? And I know quite a lot of you do always mention what is going on with that Fiesta in the yard. So nice to have a conclusion to it today. I was definitely driving slow over to the MOT, guys. I was probably doing 40 maximum, and I noticed the steering wheel was off to the right, but it wasn't pulling me all over the road. But the chap here just said, sorry, that's me standing in front of it, it's actually miles out, -1, whatever that is there on the left. He said, so yeah, it's going to want a bit of work, so we'll let him carry on and get it done. Quite a few people in the last video actually said to me, Rob, why don't you go up to that lay-by anymore with a nice background and actually finish the videos like you used to? And honestly, the only reason for that is the wind noise down here. You do get quite a bit of wind noise, but I decided to come down here and give it a bit of a try today, even though there's quite a bit of racket going on in the background. Guys, check that car out. I can't believe it's finally done after all this time. Just looking at that car there from this angle, I am going to include the pictures of before of this car. As you can see, a complete transformation. There is still some little bits and bobs that I'm going to have to do off camera. There is some overspray actually around this car, and that's due to the fact where one bit got painted, then it got taken in and the other bit got painted. So some little bits to do, and then it definitely wants a proper hand polish, because even standing from here, it looks incredible, doesn't it? And even like that, it just looks incredible. But close up, it has got quite a few patches. There's the noise we can hear. Like, there's a tractor on the go. Can you see there, guys? There's actually loads of little marks. That's going to need mopping. I didn't get any mopping or anything done at the car wash. It was. I'm just going to pause till that tractor comes past. Just move around this side just to keep the wind noise out. Don't worry, guys, this isn't leaking out of this car. It has just been raining, it's just drying up. You can see there's a wet patch over there as well, and a lot of people's rubbish. But yeah, on the mirror, I mean, down the car wash, they was just washing it. You can see there's loads of polish residue on there, so loads of little bits of cleaning up to do. But I think that's going to be enough for this video. Let's get back to the yard and crunch the numbers. I was just walking inside there and I almost forgot to show you guys the inside. It all come up very nice, and smells very nice in there too now. And I don't know if we ever tested them, and we saved both of those, didn't we? So that's perfect. So it's been going on quite a while, this one, guys, but like we said, we bought it, it was very cheap, and we kind of had it for in between jobs to do, and we didn't want to just go straight out and buy a load of parts for it, because it needed ultimately all of the decent stuff that you would need to buy. So it needed a whole front end, it needed a bed, it needed legs, doors, wings, airbag kit, literally even a rear beam. So you can tell by them pictures, it just needed so much more than what you could physically see there. Of course, it had that damage on the quarter panel as well. I know the video's getting on a bit, so I'm not going to go on about it too much. And even though we do try to write stuff down, and of course we keep the receipts for everything, I've just gone through and I'm quietly confident it is all here. So the purchase price of this is actually going to shock everybody. That car, the lad that owned it was, like I said, third party, and it was actually taken to a police pound. If you remember in part one, we wasn't allowed to actually video, and we actually turned up to a police pound to collect it. Now, he actually reached out to us and said he doesn't want anything for the car, but they want it removed from the police pound and there's fees to pay. And he wasn't in a position to just pay the fees and get the car back. He didn't know what to do with the car. He wanted it gone. So he'd rung a couple of scrap yards and they weren't actually interested. So when we got there, because me and Chris said, you know what, how much can it be? It's been in there for 4 or 5 days and the recovery. So it was £350 recovery fee and storage. And that is what we paid for that car. We met the guy there, he gave us the keys for it and the paperwork. Parts card from Kent Auto Salvage. I'm going to go through what we actually took off that car. So we took off the subframe, so the engine bed with the steering rack, rear beam, brake pipes, chassis sections and bonnet hinges, and we paid $300 for that parts car. And if you remember, we got it from Kent Autos, bought it round here, took off what we needed and then dropped it back. So we bought the bonnet damaged from Gallardo Motors for £80. It just had that little dent in the middle of it, if you remember, where it looked like it had been on the back of a lorry and the lorry had just touched the back of it. Headlights, £120 for the pair. Bumper, £50, that was bare. Front panel, again from Gala, £140 with rads. Air conditioning pipes. It was like a maze trying to get the right pipes for it. So in the end, we bit the bullet and bought a whole kit off of eBay for the same year car for £75. And that was just recently, just to get it done. Wheel refurb, £250. And 2 new tyres, £120. Airbag kit, £250. Now you can get an airbag kit cheaper, but I was trying to be clever and bought a dashboard, if you remember, from Marks, and the steering wheel airbag from somewhere else, and it turned out I actually plonked it in there and it was the wrong colour. So I had to take that out, and obviously we had to get a proper airbag kit for it. Engine front cover. So that cover that goes on the side of the engine, which is torqued up the crank pulley to a ridiculous amount. You needed specialist tools to do it. I'm looking over there because I'm looking at that one that come out the last car we done, and that was, let me just find back to it now, £225. So it was £75 for the cover and £150 to have it fitted. Seat repair, £60 because it was a passenger side, blew the airbag out. ECU reset, £30. Windscreen plus fitting, £75. That wasn't new. We got a second-hand one from Kent Autos. Liam cut it out there and stuck it in here. The grill kit was very, very expensive. And I think I said it earlier on in the video. It's actually aftermarket, so you can buy it for your car and pimp it up. On eBay, it was £140 because of the red bits around it, I suppose. 2 front wings, £60. The splashes, £20. Suspension leg, again from Gallardo Motors, £70. Drive shaft from Gala's, £80. All of this stuff I was getting from around Kent Autos, but it was different because it's a 1 litre EcoBoost. Oil seal for the gearbox, £10. Upper bumper section. So that's the piece of plastic that clips on the bumper and then bolts to the front panel. We bought that new recently for £80. Seal clips and trims and the little end cap, £22. Paint and materials, that was just for us here, what Chris done, £100. The body shop combined total for both different body shops it went to was £850. MOT we had done today was £40. Aircon regas was £50, and the valet I've just had done was £20, which gives us a grand total of £3,667. So it just shows you, that's a lot of money, that car. We paid $350 for it, for the recovery and storage, and it comes to over £3,600. It just shows you how much stuff that car did need. And you know that we get stuff as cheap as we can and buy stuff and just try and piece it together to make it cheaper, like I did that airbag kit. That didn't quite work out, and I probably lost 100 quid there, but still a lot of money to repair a car. I know the paint comes to, anyway, let's not even get into that. I flicked through eBay. They are between £6,000 and £10,000. Every single car that's on there for 6.5, I think that was the cheapest actually, 6,500 up to 7,500 were all category cars. You can go on eBay now and look, type in there 2017 1 litre EcoBoost ST-line, that car is, and it's a black edition with the red roof, etc. They are all over 6.5 grand, category S and category N cars. We are going to ask, and whoever buys it knows that car has been damaged. You've seen the videos on it. It's all been repaired correctly. I am going to drive that car for the next at least week, just snagging it and going through it, because we changed so much stuff on it. And once it is ready, I'm going to put that car on Instagram for 6.5 grand. So the same price as the category S ones that are on eBay. And of course, if you're interested in it, when I do put it on there, reach out to me on Instagram, on a message on that one, on that particular advert, include your telephone number, and of course, hopefully one of you guys wants to buy it. If you don't, I'm sure I can ring around and sell that car like that for that sort of money, because it is low mileage, it's all up together, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That is going to be the end of today's long-winded video. As usual, I do hope that you did enjoy it. Don't forget, if you did, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe already. And follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks at Salvage Rebuilds. We'll see you very, very soon in the next one.